All right, so welcome back. We are jumping into our first topic of the day. How do I change him?
No. We're talking more of your partners. Right there.
Do we want to change?
That's right.
You're my partner for the while now.
Oh, that sort of partner, right?
So, Murshidah, tell us, how do I change him? Do I even want to change him?
Yeah.
Actually, I like him the way he is.
He's so nice.
Yeah. Good morning.
Good morning. Good
How are you
morning, good
doing?
I'm feeling very awesome.
Looking gorgeous as always.
Thank you. So both of you.
Thank you.
So,
Yeah.
now the big question.
How do you
How do I change my husband? How do I change my wife? How do I change my dan lain-lain?
Yeah, the line. Right? Yes, and you know, I wanted to speak about this today because for so long, as I can remember, I always get people asking me, yeah, you talk and it's very motivating, you know, and I change, but how do I change my husband? Yeah? How do I change? There's this difficult person in my family household, or this difficult person in my company, or in a relative or something.
Yeah,
how do I change them? You know, what am I supposed to do? And for me, where I stand, I always say, you know, for things to change, first I must change.
That's right.
I change first. Things around me will change. Your environment will change. How people react to you will change, right? So we start from within. But there are also ways as to how you would like other people to change with your change. And this always happens when it comes to change. You know, when a person decides to improve themselves or move themselves to a different level of energy, or, you know, in their lives, they keep improving themselves. But there will be, you know, some sort of frustrations because other people around them remains stagnant. You know, they don't change, so they feel frustrated. That's because the different energy levels. You know, when you change, your vibration, your energy vibration changes. People around you will also feel like, hey, you're not the same person as before. You
That's
know?
right.
So they are uncomfortable. There's discomfort there, and then the person who is going through that change also experience discomfort, right? And then that's when they get frustrated with each other. But you know, just allow time to develop. When you keep improving yourself, and as you improve, the people around you will kind of balance themselves, and sometimes they even tend to fit in according to your vibration. You know,
That is given the fact that they would want to make the change, because there are some people who you completely cannot change.
Yeah.
Who refuses to change because they feel like, you know, it's the saying, old dogs don't learn new tricks, right? All right, now we put this up on the Facebook, so for all of you out there, if you are able to give us a quick shout out on the Facebook, let us know what do you think about this topic. How do I change other people? Or whether you think, you know, you made something, that you did something to change a person's perspective about you. That would be good.
Or if you have a good formula that you want to share, please share.
Especially with Stephen, I'm sure he's up to listening.
I'm all ears and eyes.
All right, we had Kirkley on the Facebook who said that, you know, to change a person, you need to first change yourself. And I think that's exactly what you mentioned earlier.
Yeah, and that's the power of change. When you change yourself, the people around you changes, you know, and even how you see things change, and how you react to different things also change. So I strongly believe for things to change, first I must change, not that person has to change. And this is something very common, no? When I do my corporate training, you know, that people always say, you know, if that person is not around in here anymore,
I will be a different person, much better.
I'll be better. Everything will be better. You know, that person changed. You know, but when we shift blame, or we blame other people, or it's a way of us transferring responsibility from ourselves. That means we're not taking responsibility
of our actions. Yeah,
exactly. And if anything bad happens, you know, it's always blaming other people. Oh, it's because of that person's fault. It's because of that person. You know, if that person changes, things will be better. So it's a way of us shifting the responsibility to other people.
I remember something that I think my dad told me when I was a kid. Every time you point a finger to say something to a person, remember that, you know, you have three more pointing back at you. So always remember, if you know your conscience is cleared with the three more back at you, then you have a right to point the finger.
Exactly.
So
yes.
I guess it all depends on how you do it, isn't it?
And it's, you know, for us, that's the sad thing about our society and most societies, is that we tend to focus on other people's weaknesses, and we bring that up, and then we say, you know, if that person is dressed like this, it will be better. How can the person talk like this when the dressing is like this? They put judgments on other people, right? So when we are actually focusing on other people's weaknesses, you know, you forget that you also have your own weakness. Like when you were saying, you know, 3 fingers pointing back at you.
You just touched something. I'd like to just pick on that one. When you said you're judging a person, being judgmental is what we all do. Him being judgmental about his girlfriends, me being judgmental about the people in my life. But the thing is this, are we then actually putting the judgment upon them so that we are comfortable in a way?
It's everything based on our own perspectives, you know, and our own, how we perceive what is right and what is wrong. So when we do that, we become a society of judgmental people. You're very judgmental people. And how is it like living in a society where everybody's judging each other? You are afraid to move. You are afraid to, to voice out your opinion. You are afraid to be who you are because you are, you're always trying to go with the flow, or try to get approval from other people, and it's very tiring like that, and as well as people sometimes they keep on judging people when they are not happy within, they tend to bring it out and attack other people, right? So when people do that, we become a very unhappy society. Everybody's afraid to voice out. Everybody's always talking bad about other people, and they are afraid that other people will talk about them. So that's where creativity stops. That's where self-improvement stops, progress stops, learning stops. So what I'd like to encourage is for everybody to take full responsibility, which is not to blame, not to justify, not to criticize. Anything bad happens, we take responsibility. Be solutions focused, right? And focus on improving yourself instead of attacking other people or trying to change other people. Right? But I did talk about once on giving advice with compassion, in one of the programs that we did, giving advice with compassion. Now, everybody, when we are born, we have that internal compass in us. We human beings, we know what is right, we know what is wrong, we know what is right for us, we know what is it that is aligned with our purpose. So when we want to guide our children, for example, or we want to guide our spouse or our friend or our parents, doesn't matter who, you can even guide your boss, yes. What you can do is you see it from their point of view, see where they want to go in their lives, and you be there not as somebody who nags or attacks, but somebody who actually be their companion towards change, right? So we allow everybody else to change in their pace, but at the same time, what we can do for them, be their companion, give unconditional love and support, and also prayers for them to elevate themselves and keep improving themselves in the world.
I see.
That's what we can do, right?
Now, Murshidah, let's come back to the household environment.
Yes, very common question. Right?
Very common question. Lots of household people watching. So, husband and wife in conflict, both trying to change each other. So, who should start first with that magic formula?
It's like a chicken and egg story, isn't it?
It has to be somebody who wants to have positive changes in the family. If you can't be like in a state of blame. Once you're in that state of blame, like why can't he be like this, or why can't she be more like this? When you are in that state of blame, it makes you weaker. It makes you lose control in your life. It makes you feel hopeless and like everything else is poor me. All the burden is on me. Why are people doing this to me? So when we are in that state, we become weaker. So one of us have to make a realization like, look, we're not going to put ourselves in that blame mode. We're going to put ourselves in that solutions focused mode. So once you have that realization, look, I'm going to step out of it and I'm going to keep improving myself where I can improve the relationship.
Hold that thought. I need to ask you. Hold that thought. Hold that thought. Okay. It's interesting you said that. All right. That fact that one of you starts the ball rolling, which is perfectly fine. Somebody's got to start it. But my question is, if it is the burden upon either one of the spouse, and I'm not only going on the side of the wife here, or it could be the husband or the wife, benefit of the doubt for the guys out there.
Thank you.
Isn't it a bit too much of a burden on their shoulders to constantly be that person to make that change? I mean, wouldn't that person, be it the husband or the wife, constantly say, oh my God, I'm trying so hard, I'm trying so hard, I am positive, I'm trying to do it right, I am hoping this person picks up the cues, but the other spouse does not pick up the cue. What do you do?
Again, the choice is whether you want to change or not. We as we have the power within us to change ourselves, but we do not have the power within us to change other people. I believe God only has the power to change people, but we can be the influence and we can send our vibrations to them. Now, if that person is steadfast and is always in that blame attitude, as in refusing to acknowledge any effort on their part, right, or to acknowledge even their own weakness or acknowledge the other person's strengths, that puts the relationship in a very win-lose situation, right? So again, I would, you know, that for most relationships, I wouldn't advocate breaking up. You know, I believe in sending love, because then, you know, the relationship will change. But if, let's say, you really find yourself in an abusive relationship, emotionally, not only physically but emotionally, it is important for you to step out of that relationship, right? And when the time comes, you know, whether it's in a household or whether it's in a company, when the time comes, you can always go back and address the person. But if, let's say, you really cannot, you know, change or remove that person from your life, as long as you keep sending love, there will be, trust me, there will be at a certain point in your life where there will be a balance in that household, whether there will be a balance in that company, but you have to keep on giving love. And always remember, you know, when you plant something, then you need gestation time. You cannot get immediate results. We are so used to the microwave, right? That's right. We want everything immediate. So, you know, there is always that gestation period, and you see whether, you know, you are willing to go through that gestation period and improve the relationship.
I see.
Yes.
Now, Murshidah, before we let you go, right, so one final one. I know it's wrong to mold a girlfriend or a boyfriend or a husband or a wife, but is it wrong to mold the children? And if it's not wrong, how do we do it? Changing children.
Yes, exactly. And like I said, you know, children, even children, they have their internal compass. They know what they want. They know their strengths. They know what they love to do. So what we do is we give them advice with compassion and thinking from their point of view, where they want to go instead of where we want them to go. We want them to go, but we make sure they know that they are on the right track, that they are not, you know,
wishes are respected as
yes,
well.
they are not doing something dangerous for themselves. You guide them, and at the same time, you know, you give advice and you be their companion for them to grow and develop.
Good, very good, very well said. Thank you so much, Murshidah. And it's always a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you.
This topic is probably going to run if we don't stop it right now, because you know, we've got so much questions coming in. I don't know whether she's answered your questions. Murshidah, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank
you. Facebook is still open.
Yes. All right.
So for you out
there, the Facebook is still on. 22829062, 228343. Give us a call, Malaysia. Talk to us.
Please share your magic formula.
For Stephen. All right, we're going to come back with yet another interesting topic.
That's right. Distraction
driving. That's right. Now, while you're driving, we'd love to know what you get distracted with. Billboards, women, cats on the road, or whatever.
Why not men?
That too. Quick hot break coming in, and we'll see you in a bit.